My name's Andy Sullivan. I'm a 9/11 survivor and a responder, and I was on the Bucket Brigade during the cleanup after the 9/11 attacks. And what I saw that day was shocking and gruesome. As we were sifting through the aftermath, separating personal effects from limbs and personal remains, I saw some of humanity's worst and best. Right now, our American dream is under siege. We are at war. And I'm not talking about the war overseas. And I'm not talking about in the caves of Afghanistan or in the mountains, deserts of Iraq. I'm talking about right here, right now, in all parts of our country. There is a movement called creeping Sharia. Now, Sharia is the Islamic rules by which radical Muslims live by. And right now they're building communities throughout the entire country. And they're hiding behind charities. And they're pushing their law system into our laws. And they're trying to institute Islamic law right here in America, stripping our freedoms and our liberties away. Just up in New Jersey, there was a Moroccan couple, and they were Muslims. And what happened was the woman was getting beaten and raped on a regular basis. And she finally found the courage to take her husband to court. And when they went to court, the husband claimed it was within his right, within his religion, to beat and rape his wife. And did you know that they ruled in favor of the defendant? That is a fact. Now, it later got overturned, but I cannot believe it got that close. It should never have gotten that close. Right now, there's a term they call Islamophobia. That term was created by CARE and ISNA. These are groups that are setting up huge footprints all over our nation, training people in this gentle jihad. We're all very familiar with violent jihad. That's what happened to us on 9/11. But when I was up in New York fighting the Ground Zero Mosque, and we had a landmarks hearing, and they voted to destroy the building that was the first strike of the 9/11 attacks, so they could replace it with a 15-story Victory Mosque. We New Yorkers said no. But all the politicians and all the community and civic groups, they wanted this mosque. Why? Because of America's worst menace, political correctness. That is what's opening the door to every cancer, malignant thing that's attacking our Constitution. Do you know, in a couple of months, they're going to be opening up the 9/11 Museum. And did you know that the text that was written in the 9/11 Museum was written by Saudi scholars? The attacks on 9/11, the worst attacks this country ever suffered on her soil, was now being told their story by Saudi scholars. But no one knows that, because the media won't tell you that. When they wanted to bring Khalid Sheikh Mohammed downtown and to try him at Ground Zero, to give that animal an international platform to spew his venom, people wanted to give him Miranda rights. They wanted to give that man, the mastermind of the 9/11 attacks, the same rights that they give you, and the same rights that they give you. But we fought it, and we got together. And it was the American people. And it wasn't just New Yorkers, it was people from all over the country. As a matter of fact, you know, I was a construction worker during the attacks of 9/11. And it happened right across the street from me. And on that day, I lost a lot of friends and co-workers. and a woman that I loved. So this means a great deal to me. Changed my life. And when I started my 9/11 Hard Hat Pledge, it was a pledge where Americans would come together and fight this menace and not let our freedoms and our Constitution get stripped away by a foreign entity, and also from within, from our own politicians. Because today, our own politicians care about two things. They care about getting elected, and they care about staying in their office. Because you got to realize something. They hit the lottery once they got in office. They're not affected by this economy like you guys are, like I am. They don't care if the market goes up 500 points or drops 1,000. They're still going to make their money. Their children are still going to go to college on our dime. I think it's time we start sending people like you to Congress. I think they start to need recruiting from the private sector, people who are fresh from the pain and strife that we're suffering under their lawmaking. Iowa, this is my first time down here, and I gotta tell you, you got some great food here. I think I gained about 8 pounds in 3 days. I'm afraid in case I fall down and start bleeding, barbecue sauce might come out. But I love your Christian feel you got out here. It's something this whole country needs. Regardless of what our community organizer says, this is a Christian nation, and we should rule it like one. I'm honored to be here. I really am. And when I was at the debate on Thursday night, meeting people from all over the country, I can't tell you what a joy it was to meet everyone. You know, we live in New York where everything is at warp speed. You don't get a chance to talk to your fellow citizen and to see how their lives are going and to see how their kids are growing. And how are you being affected? Are you getting hurt by the present economy? Are you worried about your job? Are you out of work? These are things that our politicians, they don't care about. All they care about is their 10-second soundbite. All they care about is their next term. Iowans, Arkansas, New Yorkers, anyone out there, just know this. We have the power to change anything that is going on out there. We did it in New York. They wanted KSM trials downtown New York. We stopped them. They wanted to build a victory mosque down at Ground Zero. There's no victory mosque down at Ground Zero, and there's not one coming anytime soon. So just know this. They forgot about the one special interest group that controls this entire country. That's called the American people, or what I like to call the Tea Party. Good luck and God bless you all.